April of 1980, Teen Idols and the Untouchables, and I believe SOA at the Taj Mahal in Norfolk, Virginia. And it blew me the fuck away. Cause I was into the punk rock shit and pogoing, and these kids came in there and they was slamming and skanking and slam dancing, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And that was it. I was like, holy shit. Oh, Rat Bones, man. Still fucking puts it. It's so funny. It's like, I'm retired. Then you see the motherfucker diving out of a balcony. But what I love about him, he's not one of these idiots that go punching people in the pit. He dances hard as a motherfucker, but he's having a good time. CBGBs, obviously. And Max's was a shithole. Sound wasn't good. I mean, when the Ritz did the shit the way that the Ritz used to do it, you know, now it's like Webster Hall, but definitely CB's, because, you know, and I said this, I just did an interview, and I was like, you know, any fucking documentary that came out about CBGBs, it was always the fucking old crusty punk rockers, you know, from whatever era of the 70s. But from 80 all the way to the closing, the fucking hardcore scene is what kept the doors open on that fucking place, and we never got acknowledgement of that. You go to a Bad Brain show, a Cro-Mags show, a AF show, a Murphy's Law show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the shit was sold out. Half the time the gigs at CB's, I would go in there and pass by. It was, you know, scattered people. But the hardcore scene kept the doors open on that fucking place, man. Hilly knew it. You know, he liked a lot of people on the scene, man. Better. Bad Brains, listen, the first time I ever saw them, again, at the fucking Taj Mahal, a couple of months after Teen Idols and the Untouchables, and it was a life-changing experience. I was like, I gotta meet these motherfuckers. And then, you know, I got to see them again at the 9:30, and then, you know, when I stepped out of the Undead van onto Avenue A, there was HR standing in the door front of 171A. And I was there when they recorded that entire album with J.W., God rest his soul. There was something very powerful, spiritual going on in that studio, and that record today lives up as the greatest punk hardcore record of all time. I mean, and seeing them live every night was a different show. It was never this whole orchestrated shit. You never knew what was going to happen. I worked their first tour down south. Nobody even knew they were black. Dave Hahn, the original Cro-Mag drummer, didn't put a picture of the Bad Brains on any of the promotional flyers. We were showing up at biker bars and they're like, yo, who the fuck are these, you know, niggers? Basically, we'd be fighting everybody. But every night, the energy was there. HR is the fucking sadhu, legendary. Nobody can fucking even shine that dude's shoes that picks up a mic. And all of those guys were such accomplished musicians and could have sold out and played pop music and made millions, but they stuck with their heart. So if you want to talk about heart and doing what you feel, take them as an example. Mackie Jason, Earl Hudson, and Pokey, man. Pokey got chops. And I have to put a number 4. Danny from Biohazard and Armand. I gotta give 5. Those dudes, you know, in that, you know, they all do what they do great. But, you know, Mackie and Earl, Jimmy Gestapo, man. He needs to have a motherfucking TV show. Fuck these late night hosts. Jimmy needs a fucking show on cable or TV. Naturally funny dude. Doesn't force the comedy, man. He's a great dude too, you know? Hell yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I lived in squats in the fucking 70s in Rockaway. I was a heroin mule. I lived in a burnt out bungalow in the Rockaways in 77. Then when I got out of the Navy, I tried to move into this building on Rivington. We fixed it up, me and James Contra. And the Allen boys came with a shotgun and a pistol and took it from us. But then when I left the temple, we had the 713 East 9th, the Eastern Front, which was the building, Harley and everybody, we all lived in there. Eric Casanova, Richie Stig. And, you know, that was a fucking, you had motherfuckers trying to come in there and take your shit too. So, you know, it was wild down over there. Yeah, but I lived in 700 East 9th, where Daniel Rakowitz chopped up his girlfriend and fed her to the homeless. I lived in there with Watson and Crazy Dave, Cuban Dave, who's like out of his fucking mind. Yeah, I was smelling the smell and I'm like, yo. And Crazy Dave was like, I was like, yo, what the fuck is that smell? And he's like, don't worry, Johnny, it's just a rat in the fucking wall, bro. I'm like, yo, that ain't no rat in the wall. And that's a famous story, but yeah, he killed her in that building and chopped her up and made soup out of her, fed her to the homeless. So I hope you didn't eat the Daniel Rakowitz soup line soup. Be careful what you put a lot of value on, because you see a lot of people that have a lot of things in this life materialistically, it doesn't really make them happy. I'm not rich, but you know what? I'm happy. I help a lot of people, and I still play my music, and I do it with a passion. It's what I love. So my message is, if you are gonna play this music, like I said, do it for the right reason. Not to make a buck, not to get a chick, not to have followers on fucking Instagram. Do the shit for the right reason, and rehearse. You know, bands ask me to listen to their demo, and when I do, I'm like, yo, you shouldn't put this out right now. You know, there's some motherfuckers that's brutally honest, and Mackey's one of them. There's like certain, but it's not that we're trying to put anybody down. It's like, yo, put your best product out there, and always, you know, rehearse. You know, back in the day, we rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed, and it's a lot easier now. If you just get a YouTube page, you can get, you know, 20,000 views of your video. But don't lose sight of the fact that this is an art and you need to perfect the art. Music, it's about, you're given a certain amount of talent, but if you work hard, you can make that talent better. You can write better songs. So I always tell them, like, yo, I think you guys need to rehearse more and wait and be patient. Like, I write films now. I wrote 2 TV pilots. I got 2 books. I'm writing another one. And it's like, I always wait and do the work, and everyone's like, yo, when's this gonna be out? And you know that too, because you're a filmmaker. You never put shit out there before it's ready. So that's what I say to bands too. You know, come out when you're ready, put your shit out when you're ready, make it your best effort, and question, did I really do the best I could with this song? You know, or whatever it is you're working on. Sick of it all. Still put everything out there. They still come out and they still fucking put on a fucking great show. And AF does that too. Agnostic Front, you know. You're gonna see them come out and give it their all. Even Jimmy with his shtick, you know, it's, you know, there's, you know, bands out there that, but I would say, you know, my favorite band that's out there still killing it is Sick of It All, because they're gonna just fucking come out and destroy shit every night. Pete goes fucking bananas. Armand's a beast. Craig's a fucking maniac. Lou's fucking just puts it. I'm like, you know, I'm surprised he doesn't leave a nut on the fucking stage every time from where he's singing from his gut. So it's, you know, I've never been disappointed by a Sick of It All show. I have to say that. You know, hardcore being dead, you know, no, you're dead to the scene. That's what I say. Hardcore's not dead. It never died. Punk hardcore is a movement that will go on. It'll expand. The roots of the tree will spread out into other forms of music. But that whole tree can come back to that one seed, and that seed is the Bad Brains. That seed gave birth to the DC scene. That scene then spread out to the New York scene. And, and the tree goes on. You're seeing all different kinds of bands that are out there that were affected by what those guys were doing. But like I said, it's a spirit. So if you're not feeling it, then it's dead to you. But, like I said, now it's not like everybody's 18 years old and we're living in squats. People got families and kids and responsibilities and stretched out into other things. But when there's a show, you see the people come out. The Black and Blue show just happened. We just played. It was 650 people there to benefit for the child that I'm raising money for. I'm doing Kona World Championships this year, raising $50,000 for this family. Everybody came out, and everybody supports. You'll never get the support. Motherfuckers that say the scene is dead, post something up where somebody needs help for medical bills or a GoFundMe, and watch how fucking fast $65,000 for Doc, a show coming up for Doc. This scene sticks together and does more. Hip-hop motherfuckers don't give a fuck about nobody but their damn bling-bling and whatever. Metalheads or what the fuck ever. You don't see metalheads doing benefits like the hardcore scene does. Hardcore, listen, man, it's everybody looks out for each other, And in that sense, how can it ever die? Because it's family.